My younger cousin and her roommates live in a sweet little heritage home, and their landlord kindly offered to cover the cost of repainting the living room. They were pretty tired of the old taupe paint color and wanted something that would still work with their existing furniture and decor because nothing else would be changing. This was helpful because the very first thing you need when choosing a new paint color is something to base it off of. A lot of people try choosing the paint color first, but this is kind of a failing prospect because paint is supposed to pull the room together. And because there are so many paint colors to choose from, it is so much easier to coordinate your paint with your furniture rather than the other way around. So what you need to establish first is a starting point, which can be anything you plan on decorating around. So a piece of furniture, a rug, some art, a countertop, your fireplace stone, anything like that. And for the girls, it was their green sofa. Their landlord had an account with Sherwin Williams, and so that narrowed down their choices as well, because it's always better to work within a brand's paint colors rather than trying to get another brand to replicate a color. Different paint companies use different bases and different pigments, so it's just not really possible to get a true match from one brand to another. Kylie M Interiors has a really great article about this. I'll link it down below if you're interested in learning more. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up because it helps other people find the information, and it also lets me know that I'm making helpful videos for you guys. Anyway, after eliminating neutrals and deciding they wanted a pale green color to coordinate with their sofa, the girls tested Liveable Green. It's a beautiful color, but they were surprised by how much punchier or more colorful it looked on the wall, which is a really common experience. This phenomenon deserves a video of its own, and I'll link it up here once I've made it. But in the meantime, here are a few points to touch on. Your current wall color influences how your prospective wall color looks. This is an optical illusion called simultaneous contrast. You've probably heard of it or seen it in like an elementary school science project or something. But it's this effect where two side-by-side colors sort of push against each other, distorting how they look, distorting how we perceive them. That's why it's so important to maintain a white border around the new colors that you're sampling. It provides a buffer against your current wall color so that you can see the new color accurately. And speaking of samples, paint intensifies once you get it from the tiny little chip up onto the giant wall, which is why it's so important to order large-scale samples. You can order them from a provider like Samplize, or you can make your own on heavy-duty cardstock by getting just those little tiny sample pots that they have at Benjamin Moore or Behr and painting up a couple coats on some cardstock. Just be sure to leave 3 edges of the cardstock white by about 2 to 3 inches to provide that buffer between your new sample color and the current wall color. Paint also further intensifies once it's on all of the walls, especially if you're painting the ceilings as well, because these surfaces all reflect off of one another, exaggerating the color in sort of a positive feedback loop in a process called interreflection. So you can always expect the undertones of your neutrals to be drawn out and the intensity or saturation of your colors to be intensified. So a good rule of thumb is to find a color that you like in the fan deck and then search for a more muted or toned down version of that color to actually bring home and sample. So in the case of our example, I suggested the girls try a color called Ancient Marble. As you can see, it's visibly less saturated and it also leans a little more yellow, which I could tell from the photos would coordinate better with their sofa. And the room turned out so beautifully. It feels so much lighter and it looks really pretty with their original stained glass windows. As an aside, I'm sure they have their space arranged like this for a reason, so I'm just musing now. But if they wanted, this room could be opened up a little bit by introducing an L sectional and switching the TV wall. A rug would also be a really cozy addition and it would help soften and break up the wood flooring a bit. But the color alone has been a huge improvement and the girls are really happy with it. Picking a paint color is challenging, but understanding the quirks of the process can really help with the decision making. I'm currently in the agonizing process of choosing materials and colors for our travel trailer renovation. So if you love DIY transformations and want to see how it all comes together, stay tuned for more episodes of that coming up soon.